Hey guys, how is it going? We are here, a pre-game show. For Monday's games, I'm joined by Obi, the pre-game dog, and he's desperately trying to get off and go and harass the house cleaner, the cleaner of the house. I don't know why I called him the cleaner of the house. That sounds weird, but he's trying to get out, and I'm keeping him in here. But we're here to talk about Monday. There are 6 games on. Welcome to everyone that's here. Welcome if your fantasy league is still going. Welcome if your fantasy league isn't going. You're just here to see what's actually cracking on in the world of the NBA. We've got most things sorted, I believe, for today. We've got everything. Everything is done. There are no statuses left to determine because it's a weird day. We've got games at 7, 2 games at 8, and then we're done. That's it. It's all sorted. What we do have an update on is Trey Jemison he's in the G League, so he's not going to be playing. All right. What else did we get? Obi-Do, you're not going anywhere. Let's see here. Javonte Green stopped playing for the Bulls. He's 10 days expired. Cade is in for the Pistons. Marcus Sasser is out. Oh, my God. There he goes. Couldn't hold him. Nick Richards is out for the Hornets, but Vasa Micic is in. Jaylen Brown is out for the Celtics. We might as well bring the screen across. Obi, you're not going out. You're not. Come here. You're not going out. Come here. This clown. Seriously. Yeah, if you want to hear more me yelling at Obi, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and we will get into what we need to get into. All right, let's have a look. You know what? He's going to annoy me. Maybe I'll do this, let him out. Yeah, maybe. All right, Obi, I'm going to let him out. I'll be back, guys. The frustrations of dealing with this idiot. All right, go. Jeez, seriously. Sick. Great. What a great day this is. Hello, everybody. How are you? Let's have a look at the starting lineup group that we've got here. Guys, this dog. Oh, my God. It's going to be all over. Hello, everybody. Welcome to have you guys here. We know everything. We know who's in. We know who's out. Let's just run through the things of guys who are actually in or out that we need to pay attention to. What the hell is that? Wow. I don't know if you heard him screaming. Cam Johnson's out. Dennis Smith is out. Jaylen Brown is out. Porzingis is in, and he's starting Al Horford. Nick Richards is out. Pokusevski is back. Grant Williams is starting. Fontecchio is out. Cade is in. Sasser is out. Bain is out. Conchar is out. Aldama is back. John Isaac is back. Jeremy Grant is out, shockingly. Simons is out. Sharp is out. Okongwu is out 7 to 10 more days, so that's almost regular season over. Trae Young is out, but Jalen Johnson is back. Kobe Buffkin is back. Javonte Green is back. He's out. Caruso and Dosunmu were playing. Alvarado's out. Ingram is out. What else do we get news here? Some more starting lineups confirmed. Well, we've got some confirmed. Might as well just go through them. Schroeder, Thomas, Bridges, Finney-Smith, and Claxton for the Nets. The Celtics are Holiday, White, Tatum, Horford, Porzingis. The Hornets are Micic, Mann, Miller, Bridges, Williams. The Raptors are Henderson, Murray, Rupert, Walker, and Ayton. And the Magic is Suggs, Harris, Wagner, Banchero, and Carter. That is what we know at this point. We might go do a dribble game. Just get ourselves fired up. I think the last one was really bad for me. Yeah, it was. I need to fix that up. Markkanen to Siakam. Cavs, Bulls, Jazz, Siakam, Pacers, Raptors. All right, let's get those teams out of our heads. Lauri Markkanen played with Kelly Olynyk, but Olynyk's are the Raptors, but he didn't play with Siakam, so that doesn't count. Cavs, Lauri Markkanen played with... Okay, that doesn't work. With the Bulls to Siakam, who's a Bulls guy? That's with the Raptors? Why is this one stumping me as well? Is there a Cavs guy on the Pacers currently? McConnell, no. Turner. Bruce Brown was traded for Siakam, so that doesn't work. Markkanen. Don Mitchell. No, they were traded for each other. Sexton, Dunn. Did Chris Dunn ever play here? Horton Tucker. Guys, what is going on here? Pascal Siakam. The Pacers side of it's not really the one. I think Kawhi with Siakam, no. Kyle Lowry with Markkanen, no. Colin Sexton, no. What am I missing here? DeMar DeRozan? DeMar DeRozan never played with Markkanen, did he? Because DeRozan arrived and then they traded Markkanen away. Chat, what am I missing here? Let's go back for check more news. Nothing else is coming through. What am I missing? Siakam, Markkanen. Lowry. John Collins. Ever play with Siakam? No. Walker Kessler, obviously not. Jared Vanderbilt bar? No. Any Jordan Wara, I said Bruce Brown. Any former Raptors? Former Pacers? Why is this so tough? Mike Conley never played with Siakam? Nope. Jordan Clarkson? No. What is this? Chat, help me out. What have we got here? Markkanen for Siakam. Larry Markkanen, Chicago, didn't play with Drummond. Robin Lopez? No. Miles Turner, John Smith. It's got to be a Bulls Markkanen guy. Then went to Toronto. Who's a Freeman Liberty? Never played for the Bulls. Who is a former Chicago Bull that plays for quickly? No, he's not a Bull. I'm stumped. Who is it? David says today: Laravia, Kennard, Pokashevsky, Watford, Drummond, Fultz, points leagues. Okay, it's not Poku. It's not Drummond. Kennard is tough. Maybe it's not Fultz. I'm interested in Watford considering that Johnson is out. But I feel better about Laravia for some reason. I feel like it's Laravia, and I'm still annoyed at this bloody Pacers lineup just came through. Halliburton, Nembhard, Neesmith, Siakam, Turner. Grizzlies lineup: Pippen, Kennard, Jackson, Aldama, and Jaren Jackson. GG Jackson, Jaren Jackson. That's the lineup. Troy Brown is starting and not Chemezi Metu for Detroit. So it's Cunningham, Ivy, Ev Buamwan, Duran, and Brown. So they're just rotating Brown and Metu, Brown and Metu, Brown and Metu for whatever bloody reason. I don't know. But that's what they're doing. Actually, no, maybe they're not. Maybe that's 2 in a row that Metu hasn't started for Detroit. I think it might be, actually. So I apologize. I'm lying. Yeah, it is. It's 2 in a row that Metu hasn't started. So that's great and all. So, yeah, our level of confidence in Metu has to drop. Someone said Dellavedova. I don't think he ever played with Siakam. I noticed my chat thing is not updating properly. Olynyk never played with Siakam. Thad. Oh, yeah, that's it. Thad Young. Thank you, chat. It is Thad Young. You are right. Bang. Thank you. We could do the connections. Well, actually, we'll just chuck the lineups up here. Yes, Troy Brown's going in over Ev 1-1. Over Metu. Because Ev 1-1 is still starting. What a weird day this is going to be. Don't know why my chat thing is just refusing to work now. Great. So I can't actually see your comments to display them on the screen. Love when that happens. So I can't see any of these questions. Oh, let's have a look. So chat, you were chucking all these answers in, but I didn't actually know. All right. How many games do I think LeBron or Davis play this week? I think LeBron plays 2, and I think Davis plays 3. Ultimate prop bet, Jaren Jackson minutes played over under 1.5. It's definitely over. 100% over. You have to hit 20 minutes for it to count for one of your 65 games. So it's 100% over. Why hasn't Poole set out from fake injuries? It's a really good question. I'm not sure. He did have he did miss one game. He did have a questionable tag in others. I think it will come. I think also just because he had so many struggles this season, they just want him to get a little bit more confidence back, would be my guess. I do not think that Jamal Murray plays tomorrow, no. Your finals of next week is Kuminga worth a stash. It's almost impossible to stash in the playoffs. Like, how are you going to hold a 0 this week? Now, you could just be saying, do I put him in IL? Then, of course you do. Like, he might play tomorrow. But if you're trying to hold zeros, well, no, I don't think the Kuminga's out this week. I think he actually plays. But yeah, it's very hard to stash guys. What was that question that I just saw? Is Goodwin playing today? Really good question. It's always the tough thing with Memphis, isn't it? Let's have a look. Who is in, who is out? Trey Jemison is not playing. Jordan Goodwin is not listed inactive, so I think we're good. I think we're good to go there. No note to say that... just double checking. Looks like Goodwin will play. There you go. But no Jemison. Jamal Murray is officially questionable tomorrow. They're calling it his knee now, not his ankle, which is not great. Jokic and Gordon are probable. All right, I think we do have all those early lineups through now. I did hear the Embiid news anabolic outpost. Well done. SMS Gaming, do I drop Bruno Fernando for Delano Banton? The Hawks have the much better schedule this week, for sure, because they play on the 4 low-volume days, whereas the Blazers do not, but Banton's a way better player, so yes. $8 trim and low-alcoholic beverage combo legend. Love it, mate. That's what I'm going to be doing, mate. Getting my hair cut at the footy for $8. Love it. The final 2 weeks of the season take the most skill, or, Jack, they take the least skill. You want to think that it's the most skill? It's definitely the least skill, but that's cool. Good for you. Should you keep LaRavia throughout the week? I think there's almost no way of knowing with this Grizzlies team. And at this point of the year, especially 2 weeks to go, you should be almost thinking every day, like versus like, well, this might happen for the rest of the week. Because you know how much stuff is going to happen over the next 14 days that's going to just change your opinion left, right, and center. So sure, but also no, because you just change your mind next time. Vassell and Sohan out for the year. They did an announcement just come through? Because I don't know that. Oh, there we go. No, it did just come through. There you go. Well, all right. So the Sohan one I did expect. The Vassell one, stress reaction. Okay. Ankle surgery for Sohan. All right. Okay. That's not a surprise. That means that Champagny is definitely there for us. Chetty Osman's an option for us too now. And for deeper leagues, you look at Malaka Branham. The next one will be we have to pay attention to what happens with Keldon Johnson. Like my expectation was, and I just said this in the show that aired 20 minutes ago about Sohan, that he was done. Like that did seem like it was the case. But it is good to get that confirmation, because then we can adjust all projections and expectations of players. Thank you for the news. How soon do I expect Bane to return? He won't play every game. There's no chance. I don't know if this injury is real or what it is. It's very convenient that it's happening. I think he plays half the games, maybe. Do you hold Trey Jones now? I think Trey Jones will end up sitting out some games at some point, but yeah. Is Aldama likely to see 30 minutes tonight? I can't say why not. Yeah. No reason for me to suggest that he wouldn't at this point. So I would say yes. All right, so no Vassell. And no, so I just wish we'd get an update on old mate Keldon as well. It's been a great year for Vassell. I just honestly, given that how late that injury report came on Vassell yesterday, it didn't seem like it'd be something that would keep him out. Even though we knew that they were going to be sitting guys down. I think they've got to have significant worries now about Johnson and where that sits. Have to. There's no way that those guys are playing. All right. I've got to make those adjustments after the show, I'm guessing. Oh, I noticed the screen died. Well, let me put that back up for you guys. Hungry Jack's or McDonald's? Adrian, honestly, Hungry Jack's burgers, the burgers are better at Hungry Jack's. I think it's Hungry Jack's. It's just harder to find Hungry Jack's. If you need assist, you play Misic or Jones. I think you got to go Misic. Harrison Barnes or Alice in a points league. Matt, I think Barnes seems like a better points league guy to me. Scoot or Beasley this week? Don't have the schedules off the top of my head. And you've given me absolutely no context whatsoever, so I'll take Scoot. Do I think that the play-in is forcing teams to pick a direction as a franchising instead of floating in mediocrity? Not really, no. I actually think it's causing them to more push towards mediocrity. Because in the past, there might be teams who'd be Atlanta, Brooklyn, Chicago, who aren't going to make the top 8 and go, all right, let's maybe try this rebuild. They go, oh, what if we make the play-in? And then they sit, so like used to be the 8-seed purgatory of the Wizards and the Hornets. Now it's the 10-seed purgatory. So there's more teams that are pushing for that extra 1 to 2 games of postseason revenue that with a chance of getting an extra 2 games in a round 1 series, that means that it improves the competitiveness of the league of teams fighting for stuff down the stretch. But the Hawks are going nowhere. Like these guys are injured. They're not there, but they're still sort of pushing through with stuff. And it enforces them not to do this sort of rebuild scenario or change things up at all. So I actually think it's worse. Is Sam Hauser a stream because of the blowout? The blowout stuff generally tends to be a little bit overstated. So he's a stream just because we've got your Brown out, so that means you're going to get a little bit more out of Pritchard and Hauser, although Pritchard usually doesn't get huge amounts more when Holiday and White play. So, yeah, but I reckon, Brandon, you'll find better guys out there than Hauser. Is Banton an ad? He has been for weeks. Any idea when Holmes returns? None. Not at this point. Not whatsoever. Will the tank commander Cade play every game? No chance. No chance he plays every game. And yeah, he's 100% not the tank commander, but that's cool. Who's more likely to play this week, Grant or Vince Williams? You mean Jeremy Grant or Vince Williams? No, neither of them are playing. There's no way those guys are playing this season. I'm sorry to tell you. That's just not a thing that's going to happen. All right, so just trying to figure out this Spurs rotation now. I wish they would just rule Keldon out so I could adjust my expectations on these guys. That would be great. How many minutes does Embiid get first game back? I would think 24 to 27. Is Dame going to miss the rest of the season? No. Why do you think that? No. No indication that's the way that it goes. Am I keeping Kobe White tonight? I think it depends. If your league ends this week, I think that dropping Kobe White, Vucevic, Dosunmu, Caruso is a viable discussion. And it depends on how the rest of your roster looks and shakes out, but I think it can be done, yes. Grant Williams, what are my thoughts? He plays for Charlotte. Yes, I've answered you already on this, David. I think that LeBron sits both back-to-backs, and I think Davis sits one of them. Is Desmond Bane a drop? Look, I dropped him basically as soon as the grade 3 ankle sprain news came out. I was not interested in him returning, because I thought there'd be nonsense like this happening. He has not provided enough value to you, I think, since returning. But he could very easily return in the next game and play 4 in a row. I don't know. It does become risky, but he also might play 0 games this week. Do I think Embiid plays tomorrow? No, I don't. Misic or Man, I'm always going to go with the harder to get category, which is assists, so that's Misic. How many serious title contenders do you think are in the West? Obviously Denver. I think the Clippers are a somewhat serious contender. I think the Thunder and the Wolves are maybe serious contenders. I think they could be. I'm not going to rule guys off. Yeah, it's always they've got to have done it before. Well, okay, someone has to do it for the first time. You can't have done it before unless you do it for the first time before that. So I'm not going to rule it out. I think the Wolves are in trouble because of injuries. So that becomes the problem there. I think Jalen is limited today. Yeah, maybe two minutes or so. Kuzma is a drop. My finals this week should pick up someone else. In a 10-teamer, I don't think Kuzma's playing enough games for you to hold on. So yeah, it is tough. We just don't know, yeah? Pick up Scoot now that Vassell is out. Not sure how those two things are related, but sure. Yeah, I don't really know what the relation is between those guys. But, you do you. Yeah, okay. Just trying to figure out how to plan out projections here. Another interesting guy for deep leagues is going to be Sandro Mamakhalishvili. The problem is the Spurs have an absolutely dreadful schedule here down the stretch. It's really, really bad. With 3 games this week, 3 games next week. After Tuesday's game, there's no quality games this week. It's just a terrible schedule. So be aware of that before you go headlong into Malaka Branham or Osman or Champagny. It's going to be relatively rough, I think. Be aware of that. Why don't I like the 65-game rule, Jack? Okay, maybe this is the format for me to talk about. I think it's been more positive than negative. There's been zero positive. Zero positive. None whatsoever. Not a single positive. You can tell, well, the guys have played. The guys have played because they are not injured. What it has led to is more players playing through situations that they shouldn't play. And I think we're going to end up in the playoffs with star players who have played through situations where perhaps they shouldn't have, that lead to diminished level of production. We already had Halliburton. We've had Embiid. The Mitchell one, I'm not sure whether that was 65-game player related. But even if it's not 65-game, it's the league's entire focus on, hey, you can't sit out a game. We don't care about your body. You got to be out there, smile for the cameras. Because otherwise we don't get a big TV contract. That whole idea that was pushed by a bunch of loudmouth complainers who honestly had some of the people complaining about that, there was some other nefarious undertones coming through that stuff. Of like, look at these guys, they're so entitled. All they want to do is sit there in their flashy jewelry and they don't want to play the game. They just want their fast cars and the women. Like, there's a little undertone to that stuff, yeah? Right? That any other player in other sport, if they sit a game out, oh, they're banged up. It's so physical. In the NBA, they don't want to play. They're too entitled. Something about that, yes? Right? So all of these rules and focus was put in on this to make them play every game. When in the end, what's happened? Like, what has actually changed here? If someone could find me, like, are the Celtics are still resting guys. They don't care. The league hasn't pulled them up and fined them for anything. They're still sitting guys left, right, and center. Right? What has it actually changed as a positive? All I see is negatives. There you go. Does Giannis rest at all this week? Yeah, I don't think he plays on Wednesday. When do I recommend to use waiver ads? In beginning of week or end? You can't really use it at the end of the week, Chris, because on Friday there's 12 games, Sunday there's 13. So what are you going to do? Just add it for Saturday? Like, you're not really going to have openings, I'm guessing, Friday, Saturday. So I'd like to get the ads in early this week. Best pickups with Vassell and Sohan out, I think Johnson's going to follow him. It's going to be Osman and Champagny, followed by Branham, but their schedule is so bad that I'm not sure how high a priority they should be. What is this? David, I don't get what you mean. Any chance you release a positional deficiency ranking for points league, seeing as ESPN ranks players based on category? What does that mean? David, please respond. I have no idea what that means. What's positional deficiency ranking? What do you mean? Sensabaugh, Laravia, or Champagny for this week? I need percentages and points. Well, Utah and the Spurs have a dreadful schedule. Terrible schedule. Because you will not start Sensabaugh or Champagny on Friday or Sunday is my guess. So you play them Tuesday and that is it. So the Grizzlies, well, I think they got at least 2 good games this week. So it's got to be them. What do they play? They play Wednesday, Saturday. Yeah, you got Monday, Wednesday, Saturday for Laravia. 3 quality game opportunities. So it just has to be that. Like, that's just volume of games. Unless you're going to tell me that you'll start Champagny or Sensabaugh on the high volume games, which you might. Don't think you will, but you might. Aldama is playing today. That is true. Have I started draft pep? Not yet, Jack. I do it like the regular season will end. We'll just start to do stuff. And normally once we hit the calendar into May, then I start to run through the draft stuff. I haven't watched basketball in the 90s or 80s. Josh, cell phone bum. What are you talking about? No, I've never watched in the 90s or 80s. Not like I grew up in that era. No, I never watched it. What are you talking about? ESPN ranks players preseason based on expected production for category leagues, which can create value if you're playing points leagues. No, ESPN actually does have points league specific rankings. Are you asking me if I have points league rankings? Yes, like at the start of literally every show when I say I'm the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, that is what basketballmonster.com is. So yeah, like, yes. And ESPN has points league rankings. When you go into a points league draft, the points league rankings are displayed. Odds Randall returns, very, very low. This week, 0% is my guess. The next week, I think it's really low. Trey Mann or Jalen Suggs? Give me Suggs. I do not think that Quickly and RJ take the back-to-back. I don't think they do. Why wouldn't they bring them back on Wednesday and said, what's the difference? Let me have a look at their schedule. What's the difference of whether they play Wednesday or Thursday? Oh, sorry, Tuesday or Wednesday. I know they play the Lakers on Tuesday. I don't know what their next game is. As I wait for my screen to load. Against the Wolves. Well, I guess it's on Tuesday. They're at home, so they get to play that one, and they don't have to travel for the Wednesday. I don't know. I don't think they play Wednesday. Thank you for hanging out, Diego. And congratulations to you, lucky lefty. Is Jalen Suggs a good start tonight? Henry, yes, but What are your other options? It's very hard to know that. Hold Nick Richards? No. Like at this time of year, like Nick Richards is a guy that's useful if he's playing, but he's not, wow, I've got to hold on to Nick Richards. Like honestly, how many teams are active still in your league? They're going to be swooping on Nick Richards who's injured? Nobody. And you'll find someone else who might be able to provide equivalent value, so move on. Is Beal a pickup? Like, yes. What league are you in where Beal is available? Jesus Christ. Would I play a limited big man like Lively or Kessler in the lottery? Would I pick if I were a GM? It would depend on my team, Jack. But I know that you were talking about Klingon or Edie, I'm guessing. Probably Klingon. I don't think Lively is that limited, honestly. I would be but this draft is just so weird and so poor that Klingon's going to have like at least a 20-minute role in the NBA. Edie, I'm not really sure about. But Klingon's going to have a 20-minute role, but like at pick 10 in this draft, that actually might be useful enough. So top 5, top 7, probably not. Better schedule, Duncan Robinson or KCP? I don't know. Let's have a look. The Heat played Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Oh, no, it's KCP. They've got 3 quality games. The Heat have 2. So it's KCP. Is Isaac worth a pickup in a 10-teamer? It would depend who else would be available. Borderline in 10, I would say. What's got into Giddy? What changed? I don't know. But now he's like hitting shots like a crazy person. I don't get it. Have I ever been to Uluru? I have not been to Uluru. Maybe we should go at some point, but no, I have never been. Banton has a higher upside. Scoot has a higher floor. I disagree completely. Scoot has a way higher upside than Delano Banton. Yeah. I think Banton's got a higher floor. Honestly, yeah, I think it's the other way around. But that's all right. We can debate things. We can discuss things. We can go back to front to back. Huh. All right. That's bad news I hope that stress reaction is not an issue for Vassell. Shingu now for the season. We haven't officially said anything, but I would think yes. Do I have fantasy regrets from personal leagues you still reminisce about? Not really, no. Like I can't hold that much information in my brain to think back about something that happened in previous leagues or previous years, no. Adama or McBride for head-to-head points leagues? Well, Jeffrey, the good thing about a head-to-head points league is that you can go back and see exactly what these guys have produced in your points league scoring over the last 3 games, 7 days, 10 days, and then make it a judgment there. If they are very similar, well, it doesn't really matter which one you pick, but I'm going to guess one of them stands out. I just don't know your individual scoring system. How many games do you expect Jamal Murray to play out of the Nuggets' remaining 7 games? 5. 4. Actually, 4. Are there a lot of stream opportunities next week? No. The opposite. It's a terrible week. There are 2 days to stream, Wednesday and Thursday, and there is not a single team that plays a back-to-back. So it's the worst streaming week you could possibly have. Yes, Poole is regret. Okay. But I don't care. Like, I'm not going to do, like, it's annoying, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, man, God, I was wrong on Poole. Like, oh, that's, like, what for? I've got a million things I have to do every single day. Project 450 players and their numbers every single day. Like, I can't sit back and go, yeah, geez, got Poole wrong. I don't care. You move forward. You do the next thing. No chance Ingram comes back this week. Should you activate Emmanuel quickly? Again, with a lot of these questions, what the hell? The Magic just chucked out a random starting lineup with Goga Badadze starting, not Wendell Carter. Keep an eye on that. What just happened? Should you activate Emmanuel quickly? Maybe. Yes. Would it mean you have to drop somebody? I think quickly is going to be good enough to use, obviously, but how stacked is your roster? I would activate him almost definitely, but a lot of questions there. Isaac or Reed? Got to take Isaac. Do you add Reggie Jackson tomorrow? We'll just wait until we find out about Jamal Murray. I wouldn't say he's the highest priority guy, Reggie Jackson. Hero's been a drop for weeks and weeks and weeks, Henry. So yes, is your answer. As we get ready to close out, thank you everyone for being a part of the show. Once again, the old pre-gamer. Thankfully, Obi wasn't being too annoying all the way through. I'll try and keep you updated on this Goga thing. I don't know what that is, but it feels like a late Wendell scratch. So keep an eye on that. We'll keep it on. Guys, I'll see you guys later. Thanks.